Words of Sonia Sotomayor, an American lawyer and jurist. We, the educated, privileged lawyers, have a professional and moral duty to represent the underrepresented in our society, to ensure that justice exists for all, both legal and economic justice. You're watching NAPTIP On The Move, and I'm Angela Agwegi. Ensuring that victims of trafficking and violence get justice is paramount to NAPTIP. Our package will bring you the agency's conviction efforts by the Legal and Prosecution Department. Keep watching.
One of the core departments of NAPTIP, the Legal and Prosecution Department, prosecutes cases in line with the enabling acts of the agency, including the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Act 2015 as amended, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, and the Trafficking in Persons Control of Activities of Organizations and Centers Regulation 2019. The department has intensified efforts to ensure that offenders are zealously prosecuted and convicted. From January 2022 to 1st November 2022, the department has secured 56 convictions and counting, the highest since the inception of the agency.
So far so good. I can tell you, as I'm speaking to you now, we have achieved 56 convictions. Most of the convictions are from the zonal commands and state command as well as liaison offices. Kano in particular has the highest number of convictions so far, followed by Lagos, then Benin, Enugu, and other zones. The recent conviction we had was from the headquarters. We got 2 convictions. This is as a result of the marching order which the DG gave when she assumed office in September last year. It is part of her mission to ensure that we have more convictions, particularly on trafficking case that has to do with high-profile cases. So that is why you see us harvesting conviction left, right, and center, and we intend to go far so that we can achieve more and more. With the zeal, with the determination, with the passion, with the encouragement from our amiable DG, I'm sure we are going to get there, God willing.
The department achieved 52 convictions in 2006, but with the recent conviction record of 56 and counting so far, NAPTIP has surpassed this previous record and is set to achieve more. The Director, Legal and Prosecution Department, reveals the secret behind this phenomenal performance.
If you want your subordinate or workers to work, you have to motivate them. Since the assumption of duty of our DG, she has been motivating us. She has put in place measures that will encourage not only legal officers but all other officers in NAPTIP to put in their best. For the past 6 years, we have not been getting the rope allowance. But when she assumed, the very first year, that very year we got our rope allowance, which is commendable. and that we had been having training. Hardly a month passes by without an officer or officers from legal department and other department go for training. This training are both local and international training. Apart from that, judges conference. I cannot remember the last time we had this kind of conference, judges conference, where we sit with judges, brainstorm, and then sensitize the judges, particularly on the issue of sentencing. Because you find out that in some cases, the punishment, or rather the sentences given by some of the judges, do not commiserate with the offense committed. So it is during this period, or this conference, or this gathering, that we sensitize them. They also advise us on how to go about prosecuting our cases. And this helps us a lot in the prosecution of those cases in court. So these are part of the things that really help us to secure conviction. And also the reward system put in place by the DG also goes a long way in assisting us to put in our best. So this is the secret, really.
Our DG has she has done a lot since she came. She was able to rewrite a lot of stories, and she has carried all the lawyers, along with her. We are proud to have her. We are all gingered to do our best, to make her proud, because she has carried us along in a way no other DG has done. So the lawyers, they are trying their best, and they're putting in their best to make sure that we reciprocate this love from her.
NAPTIP's partnership with the judiciary is indeed yielding results. Within the year, the Director General of NAPTIP, Dr. Fatima Waziri Azi, was a guest lecturer at the 2 Judges Conference held at the National Judicial Institute. For the NAPTIP prosecution councils, ensuring justice for victims is paramount.
Section 18, which is foreign travel. The particular case of a girl about 14 years of age who is very good in painting. So on this particular day, she brought out one of the paintings she had done and displayed it. So a particular young man walked up to her and told her, "Oh, I like your painting and you paint so well." And I could imagine if this painting could find its way to somewhere like Dubai. So the girl became excited and told her uncle, "But how will I find my way to Dubai?" So interestingly, he told her that what if I help out in getting that done? So the girl said, "Okay, fine, I would love to have that done for me. But then how do we get the consent of my parents? Will you want to come and see my parents?" So he agreed. But while going, he took along the sister and aunt to himself, so that somebody elderly will help him speak to the parent for them to get convinced and release their daughter. And interestingly too, when they got to the parents' house, the mother and the aunt discovered that they know themselves. So that gave the mother an assurance that, oh, if my daughter is being released to somebody that I know, there was this note of confidence that it must be a genuine journey. So this is how the journey began, and the woman released, gave her consent, they prepared all the papers, and they traveled to Dubai. But funny enough, when they got to Dubai, as the scenario normally goes in cases of trafficking, they got to Dubai, and the woman took her, the woman that received her at the airport, took her and handed her over to somebody else. Immediately she got to the particular house where she was being taken to her destination. All she saw was that they gave her a uniform. When she wore the uniform, they took her to the next building and pointed to her about 4-story building, that she would be the one that would be in charge of the cleaning of all the rooms. It turns out to be like an hotel, a brothel. And only one child of that age should be the one that will be cleaning the whole lot of rooms there. And that was what she was passing through on a daily basis. Until one day, I think she couldn't take it anymore. She took to her heels and was running. On the highway, a particular cab stopped and said, "Where are you going, especially with this uniform? What is going on with you?" So she relayed her ordeal, and that was how she found help, and she was being taken and repatriated back to Nigeria, and the case was done. Unfortunately, we couldn't lay our hand on the main guy that recruited, but the aunt that got to be part of the business was the one that went in for it, and she was jailed equally for 7 years.
We also have another case of trafficking. The woman took about 5 girls to Italy, and she was apprehended. Evidence was taken in court, and she was prosecuted, and she was convicted to 15 years. She's also imprisoned.
The agency has prosecuted several cases, including cases of violence against persons.
There's this particular case that a man of 52 years sexually exploited a child of 8 years. We handled that case in court. We called about 6 witnesses. With the people in that vicinity, they were very willing to give their evidence in court. We even had to restrict it to only 6 persons. They gave a very vivid description of what they saw, and the stories added up from when the girl went into the house to when she came out, how she was limping, the person that saw her, the child in the room, the daughter of the man that was sleeping at the time was also picked up, and she also testified that she saw the father dancing back and forth with this girl of 8 years that came to buy shaving stick for the aunt in their house. So the evidences in court were vivid, and all of them added up. At the end of the day, the man was convicted on a 3-count charge. The first one, it was 8 years, the second was 7 years, and the third count was 8 years, and all of them to run concurrently. The man is presently in prison, and the people in that area were really happy that he has been taken off that particular vicinity so that they can at least have peace, because he was really a notorious person.
Though the Legal and Prosecution Department is not relenting in its prosecution efforts, there are still persisting challenges.
Some of our vehicles are as old as when the agency was established in 2003, and we are still using them. We need more vehicles, particularly now that we have more state commands. We have opened many state commands since the assumption of the DG. So we need vehicles, logistic and what have you, to assist us in the fight against human trafficking, particularly in the state commands where we have just opened offices. Another challenge is the frequent adjournment of cases. Apart from that, the issue of leading a child witness, we deal mostly with children. So leading a child witness is not as easy as leading an adult witness. So we have challenges. Apart from that, the issue of refusal or unwillingness of some of the witnesses to come forward to testify is also a serious issue. They will say, we don't know, we have already settled the matter, or because of fear of something, we don't want to go to court and testify. And also the fear of reprisal. They will say, if I go to court, maybe the family of the suspect will come after my family and what have you. So these are some of the challenges that we are facing.
From the department, here is a word for the public.
We need the public to be enlightened on the aspect of coming out to assist us in giving witnesses in court. Because a prosecution that does not have an evidence to project before a judge had collapsed ab initio. So we need them to be enlightened that there's nothing about it. We are with them solidly, and they will not be touched by any trafficker once they are under our guide. That they should come out boldly and testify in court. In fact, for the children, for those that are children, the victims, because some of our victims, we should know this, are people with below the ages of 18. So when we have people like that, we have a way around it. In most cases, we don't take their testimony in the open court. We do make an application to the judge to take their testimony in chambers. Sometimes we do what is called clearing the gallery, whereby other people in the court will be out of sight and out of hearing in court when their own testimonies are being taken. So we have them in our mind to protect them every way we can. So they should be held boldly to give evidence for the cases to succeed in court, because without them, prosecution cannot go smoothly.
When you see something, you say something. Make sure that we report to NAPTIP when you come across issue of human trafficking. We have our 627 line, which you can call at any time of the day. We have officers who are working there in our call center 247. You can call them. And also our website. You can make use of our website, or you can make use of our email. It is there. So call NAPTIP. We have a rapid response unit. They respond promptly whenever there is a case, because we treat each case as an emergency case. Any case referred to rapid response, it is an emergency case. They will swing into action. They will go and arrest whoever is involved. We have been doing our best, and we hope to continue doing our best. The judges are really helping us, so we hope to see more collaboration, and we are also grateful to them. They have been assisting us in the fight against human trafficking, because they used to deliver prompt judgment. So I urge them to keep the tempo.
With 549 convictions from inception and 56 convictions and counting so far in 2022, the Legal and Prosecution Department is always willing and poised to ensure that victims get justice. So shun the culture of silence. Report that case to NAPTIP, and justice will be served.
NAPTIP is working. It's time to bring you the recent activities of the agency. Stay with NAPTIP on the Move. The Association of the Wives of Traditional Rulers in the FCT recently paid an advocacy visit to the Director General of NAPTIP, Dr. Fatima Waziri Azi. The delegation was led by Ambassador Gimbiya Hannatu Usman Nga, who commended the Director General for her achievements so far, and then sought for collaboration between NAPTIP and the association.
We are here today for partnership, and we are having very serious challenges on women abuse, child abuse, girl child. Some children are not going to school, and you see a little girl, 14 years old girl, 12 years old girl, that's 45, 47-year-old man pregnant. We have a lot like that, but we just decided that since you are here and we watch the program every Friday, we follow up. We say no, we should not follow that up.
In her response, the Director General of NAPTIP commended the efforts of the organization so far in its 2 years of existence.
For the fact that you recognize that there is a problem in the FCT, and you and other members didn't just sit back and watch or just complain quietly or grumble. I think it's something very commendable, and I want to say well done for all you've done. Looking at what your organization has done so far, it's a lot. When we talk about issues of domestic violence, sexual violence in the FCT, it's a huge problem. Like you already know, NAPTIP is mandated to implement the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act in the FCT, and NAPTIP has been doing so since 2015. And we have a 24-hour call center where we receive complaints on issues of human trafficking and issues of sexual and gender-based violence. And if you look at our records, we even have more calls on issues of sexual and gender-based violence and even human trafficking issues. That is to tell you that it is a huge problem.
She also enlightened the delegation on the provisions of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. She then assured that the agency will collaborate with the association and presented copies of the VAP Act and IEC materials to the delegation. The Association of the Wives of Traditional Rulers in the FCT is a non-profit organization aimed at promoting culture, improving the living standards of women, children, and the less privileged. A federal high court in Maiduguri, presided over by Honorable Justice Jude Dakat, has sentenced a 25-year-old man, Mohammed Abubakar, to 4 years imprisonment on a 2-count charge of trafficking and sexual exploitation of a victim. The offence is punishable under Section 13 and 16 of the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition Enforcement and Administration Act of 2015. In a related development, a state high court in Maiduguri, presided over by Honorable Justice Aishatu Kumalia, has sentenced a 40-year-old man, Musa Yao, to 8 years imprisonment for the sexual exploitation of 2 victims. NAPTIP has secured a total of 56 convictions and counting for the year 2022, the highest so far since the inception of the agency. The Director General of NAPTIP recently received the incoming migration advisor of the Swiss Embassy, Christian Brugger, who was led by the outgoing migration advisor, Manuel Mühlbach. Dr. Fatima Waziri Azi, the Director General of NAPTIP, commended the government of Switzerland for the impactful partnership with the agency, highlighting some of the successful projects done so far, including the Blue Bus project and the National Action Plan, amongst others. The outgoing migration advisor, Manuel Mühlbach, also commended Dr. Waziri Azi for her passion, strong determination and open-door policy. Directors of NAPTIP were in attendance. The partnership between the government of Switzerland and NAPTIP is yielding fruitful results. Our victim story segment will be on shortly. Don't go away.
One of my friends told me, say, I should follow go Abangwa. Say, get one job you go give me for that place. Because at last I found says get work I want to after I finish my work at the lane. No get money go use open my shop. He go carry me go the Abangwa, see won't show me the place. So I go follow him go the Abangwa. So I go enter, I go open gate, enter one of hotel. So I come tell him say, because my friend tell me say na fast food work. I waiting tell me. So I go enter the place na hotel. I go ask am wetin dey happen. He tell me say na the work I come work be that. I tell am say I no go fit work this kind work. Say this kind work I never do am, and so I no go fit do the work. So tell am say I should go follow go back for my village. I no go fit do the work. He tell me say the work no hard. My manager like that. Na December, my madam go say to me. My friend come tell me say, my sit down say, peace dey worry them. Say one go peace. Okay, I come sit down for one chair like this. The girl go backyard like this. I no even see am, I no see am again. I sit down dey wait for am. May come, I no see am. One madam come meet me, tell me say that my friend don't go. You send me for a hand. Tell me say I go dey work and shower work then, cause the hustle money dey give am. 3 months he go give me 50,000, 6 months 100,000. So he go buy me buy me bag of rice, buy me phone, he go buy me wrapper, I go give my mother, come buy me clothes and can on top. I tell am say, madam, I no go fit do the work, I wan go back my village. My madam come dey force me say he don already pay that my friend money already, say that my friend don go back for village, my friend no dey this hotel again. I start dey cry, because my madam come lock everywhere, lock gate. If I tell am say I wan go back, I know this work dey hide me, he go beat me, dey treat me as I no like. When they tell me say I no go fit go back unless I give am the money he pay the person send me. I go tell am say my body dey pay me, he go beat me, tell me say ma go hustle. If I get small money, he go beat me, tell me say I no go eat it through that day because I no get better money. If I give am something like 8,000, he go beat me on top. Tell me say my maid don get 20-something thousand, I dey give am small money. Anytime he go dey beat me, dey treat me as I no like. So I come dey cry every day, I go dey cry, dey beg am, he no dey gree. He carry my phone, seize my phone, he carry all my clothes go hide. If I tell am say I wan go outside, I wan buy something, he go use him hand go buy something, come give me. He no dey gree my comot. Until one day 90 people come down hotel, come arrested my madam. I wan collect my money because I don stay long for him hand, I don stay 3 months for him hand. I wan go take my money go back to my father house so that my parents go know say I dey in life. Thank you, NAPTIP, for rescuing me.
For more inquiries and support, or to report cases of suspected human trafficking, violence against persons and child abuse, please call NAPTIP hotline 0703 0000 203 or the short code 627, or email us info@naptip.gov.ng. Visit our website www.naptip.gov.ng. Follow us on our social media platforms at NAPTIP Nigeria, or watch our videos on YouTube.
Our time is up, but I must thank you for watching and urge you to keep a date with us next week. My name is Angela Agwegi. Bye for now.